Good morning. All right, wow, this is a really big crowd. My hands are a little sweaty. Um, so ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, honored guests, and most importantly, our proud graduates and their loved ones, welcome to this special occasion. Today we are gathered to celebrate not just the completion of a program, but a journey of transformation, perseverance, and growth. I'm Adrienne Wade. I'm the program director for both the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program and the Echocardiography program. We also have our faculty joining us, Bree Webb, who is our clinical coordinator for the programs. We have Parich Sakoza, who is our concentration coordinator, instructor. And Coulter Mestis is in the audience. She was also our concentration instructor to begin the year, and then Pre took over for towards the end. So Coulter, if you're still in here, will you please stand? She might have left. Okay, Coulter. And then we also have Amanda McKay, who is an adjunct and lab assistant with both of our programs and alumni. And then I'm also going to have these distinguished guests stand as I call out their names. But first, I would just like to say that without you guys and your support, our programs would not be the programs that they are. We're the only program in this entire region that has 4 concentrations that are accredited. And without your support, your foundation, the Board of Trustees support, we would not be able to do what we do today. So please stand and a huge round of applause for all of our distinguished guests, which are the Board of Trustees, President's Cabinet, and the School of Health Sciences and Wellness. Thank you. And now we're going to welcome Dr. Schaefer to the stage for opening remarks.
Thank you, Adrienne. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to graduation time and one of the most exciting times of the year for all of us here at Laramie County Community College. And let me start by, first of all, thanking all the family, friends, supporters that are here for your graduates today. I know some of you have traveled a long ways and some of you maybe not so much, but over the duration of your graduates' time in this program, your support and your presence has been incredibly important, and we can't understate enough just how much that means to these graduates. And then for our graduates, let me say congratulations. You passed a big hurdle, not just completing the program, but getting into this program. Hands down, the sonography and echocardiography programs at LCCC are probably the ones that are in the highest demand. If I meet a student who's interested in coming to us or who is here, more often than not, they say, I came here for sonography. So we know how competitive it is to get selected to get into these programs, and then you know how challenging it is to finish this program. So thank you for investing in your future and coming to us and trusting us to help you develop into a clinician and moving on. I know we made you probably work for it, without a doubt, but now you get to celebrate the fruits of your labor, and I tell you, the world of opportunity before you is so incredibly great. So congratulations, graduates. And then last thing I just want to say is recognize these fine folks behind us and all of the faculty that make this program happen. They are a small but mighty and dedicated team. So how about a round of applause again for them? So enjoy this moment. I hope to see most of you tomorrow during the commencement ceremonies. Enjoy that as well. Go on and do great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer, for your kind remarks. Today marks the culmination of an extraordinary dedication from our graduates. Much like the anatomy of the heart, each student brings unique strengths, flexibility, coachability, and passion that together create something truly remarkable. I'm not nervous at all, can you tell? Our students have balanced long hours of study and demanding lab and clinical experiences. Their commitment mirrors the heart's constant rhythm, steady, resilient, and essential. Along the way, they relied on support system, family, friends, classmates, and sometimes even a loyal pet during the late night study sessions. That support has been just as critical as their time in the classroom and in the clinic. They've learned to interpret the language of sonography, deciphering shades of gray, identifying subtle differences, and developing the knobology skills required to bring clarity to complex images. They've learned, more than that, they've become skilled problem solvers, like detectives. They've learned to ask the right questions, stay persistent, trust their instincts when something doesn't look right. That perseverance is what defines them as a future professional. More than anything, this group has demonstrated something we cannot easily teach, and that's grit, perseverance, and resilience. There is a word that often carries a heavy weight in these programs, and that word is fail. It's a word that many of our students, especially those with high expectations of themselves, try very hard to avoid. But my daughter once shared a perspective that stuck with me. She broke the word fail into an acronym. First attempt in learning. And that reframing is powerful because the reality is every single one of us fails at some point. What matters most is not the failure itself, but what do we do after that? This group of students has embraced the mindset. They've come to understand that struggle is not a sign of weakness. It's a necessary part of growth. And that's not an easy shift, especially for our Type A students out in the audience, which is everybody. Personalities who are used to doing things right the first time. In my opinion, that is the biggest shift these graduates had to make the first semester of their program, was learning how not to be perfect at everything the very first time. But when they were faced with that challenge, sometimes in the lab, sometimes in the classroom, or maybe even clinicals, they didn't stop. They didn't walk away. They leaned in. They doubled down. They asked more questions. They practiced more. They showed up again the next day, ready to go, ready to improve. That's perseverance. That's resilience. If I had to name a motto for our programs, it would be this: it's okay to fail, but it's what you do after that makes you successful. And this group has truly lived up to that motto. Our programs are very fast-paced, and there's not a lot of downtime, as they will probably attest to that. So I ask our graduates to take a moment in this downtime to reflect on your journey, from prerequisites to the first summer. If you guys can remember Plate Man Harvey, I know you guys love him. The fall semester, learning how to scan the liver and the heart in just a mere 8 weeks, to physiological testing in the spring and clinicals for our echocardiography students, and then to the clinical settings for all of our other sonography students. And all the applications of every term, every definition, all the anatomical locations, all of that in the spring semester or before you went off to clinical, and sometimes even while you were in clinical. That's a lot that we asked you guys to do in 2 years for the DMS and 1 year for our echocardiography students. But also think about what you had to do to gain acceptance into this very competitive program. Like Dr. Schaefer was saying, it's one of the most sought out programs here at LCCC. And that's because of you guys showing up every day, doing the work, and then working in the field once you graduate to show them what an amazing field you guys are in. There were probably over 100 applicants when you guys applied to this program, and we have 26 of you sitting in this room, so that's a true testament to what you guys have accomplished just to get into this program. And then think about the first day of lab, the first day you had to hold a transducer, the first day you had to touch an ultrasound machine that was completely foreign. And then you have one more first day you have to reflect on. And that's the first day of working as a paid sonographer. That will be the best day of your life, knowing that that day was not free, that you get to be paid, you get to go shopping, and do all sorts of amazing things with that first paycheck. But what a journey. What an amazing journey you guys have completed today. The path you followed was not easy, nor was it straight, but you figured out every turn, every roadblock that you faced. It takes grit to endure this path. Breathe and feel that sense of accomplishment. We have 26 graduates with us today, 15 in the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program and 11 in the Echocardiography program. They have completed extensive clinical training, over 100 hours or 1,000 hours for our DMS and over 800 hours for our echocardiography program. And they've trained all across the region, some here in Cheyenne, to northern Wyoming, Montana, eastern Nebraska, Idaho, and our Colorado state, developing the technical and professional skills required for entry-level practice. For our program outcomes, I like to share this with our audience because these kids have worked, I shouldn't say kids, but they're always going to be my kids. These graduates have accomplished so much. And so for them to be a registered sonographer, every one of them has to pass the National Physics exam. It's one of the hardest exams to pass, and they do it within their first year of the program. And so with that, we have 24 of our graduates that have passed the SPI. That's amazing. Some are getting ready to still take that. With our sonography program, we have our DMS students that have to take the abdominal sonography registry. 10 of those graduates have already accomplished that task. OBGYN is another one for our DMS students, and 6 of those graduates have accomplished that one as well. Then we have vascular. Vascular, we have 13 so far that have taken that registry and passed, and that one by far is the hardest one in the nation for our graduates to pass. Less than 70% pass rate on the first attempt, and we have 13 so far. Echo registry, so far we have 5 that have become registered in Echo. We have a huge accomplishment for some of our DMS students that I would like to acknowledge before we move on into our pinning. In the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program, they have 3 concentrations that they must have in order to be employed. It's abdomen, OB, and vascular. We asked these graduates to try to aim to get all 3 of these registries completed within a 60-day window. Because we are accredited, they are allowed to sit for their registry board 60 days prior to graduation, which is around March 17th. And today is May 15th, so that's less than 60 days. We have 5 of our DMS students that have completed all 3 successfully. If those 5 will please stand, that would be amazing. That is a huge accomplishment. Great job, ladies. All of these past registries show the achievement and reflection of not only their knowledge, but their persistence in meeting rigorous national standards. And with those national standards passed, we have graduates that are already employed, that already have jobs before they even graduate or walk across the stage today. 21 of the 26 have secured a job, and the rest are getting ready to interview. They are employed in Wyoming, Montana, I think Idaho, Colorado, Nebraska, pretty much where we had our clinical sites, that's where our students are being employed at. This early success is truly a testament to their readiness, professionalism, and the reputation they've built throughout their clinical experience. Their skill set is not only technical, it's life-changing. What they do impacts diagnosis, treatment, and patient care every single day. And now I'm going to turn this over to Bree and Amanda, who will begin our pinning presentation.
Hello, my name is Bree Webb. I'm the clinical coordinator and instructor for the Diagnostic Medical Sonography programs. So the pinning ceremony is a symbolic milestone. Each pin represents dedication, resilience, and the successful completion of a demanding journey. As your name is called, you are recognized not just for what you have learned, but for who you have become. Please hold your applause until all graduates have received their pins. First, we have Alyssa Allers. I chose my fiance Logan to pin me because of the unwavering support he has shown me throughout my schooling. Your encouragement has truly meant the world to me during this journey. Thank you for walking beside me every step of the way and for always believing in me and supporting my goals. I appreciate you more than words can express.
Angel Bolin. I've chosen my mom and dad to pin me today because they have always been my biggest supporters and encouragers, helping me achieve my goals every step of the way. I'm incredibly grateful for their unwavering support and for everything they've done to help me get to where I am today. I also want to thank them and the rest of my family for being here to celebrate this special moment with me.
Sorrel Sadoche Brumley. I don't know if I said that right. My husband and daughter are pinning me because they have been my greatest sources of support and motivation. My husband has stood by me every single step of the way, and my daughter inspires me to keep pushing forward and to always be my best. I am so grateful to share this special moment with them.
Erin Bush. I am choosing to have my wife and daughter pin me today. They have been my biggest source of support throughout both my times of success and my times of doubt during this program. I also want to thank my clinical instructor and numerous preceptors for always engaging me in new learning and challenging me to become a better sonographer. Finally, without the financial assistance and lifelong dedication to education that my late grandmother instilled in me at an early age, my ability to pursue a career change and attain another college degree would not have been possible. It truly took a crew and a lot of good timing to make this all happen. I couldn't have done it if any one piece was missing.
Rob Connolly. My fiance Ashley is pinning me today because she has supported and encouraged me through every step of this journey. She dealt with all of my anxiousness leading up to exams, comps, clinicals, and board. There were too many 2 a.m. study sessions during the past year for her liking. When I had doubts or celebrated a milestone, she was there to be a part of that moment. Never complained too much of having to pronounce medical terminology such as idiopathic, hypertrophic, subaortic stenosis when I needed help studying. Thank you for that, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
Thank you for everything you did to help me to get to today, and we can finally take it easy for now.
Jocelyn Gomez.
A mis padres, gracias por todo el amor y el apoyo que me han dado siempre. Cada esfuerzo y cada logro han sido por ustedes, porque hacerlos sentir orgullosos ha sido mi mayor motivo. Soy muy afortunada de tenerlos, de contar con padres que me han enseñado que la educación es una de las cosas más importantes que alguien podrá tener. También me han enseñado que nunca debo dejar de creer en mis sueños y trabajar para cumplir todas mis metas, aunque sean difíciles. Todo lo que soy es gracias a ustedes, los amo muchísimo.
Montana Howard. My mom and dad are pinning me today because they have been my biggest support and encouragement over the last 2 years. They have supported me through these years by driving many hours, 8 by the way, from Nebraska to Wyoming, helping me move 4 times, supporting me financially, and answering the phone every time I called. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for your endless support and love. I could not have done it without you both.
Taylor Laritzen. Thank you to my parents for your support and for everything you've done for me along the way. I'm so grateful to share this moment with you, and it truly means a lot to have you here.
Braxton Parks. My mom and dad have the honor of pinning me because they have always been my greatest supporters. They never stopped believing in me, even during the times when I doubted myself. Their encouragement, sacrifices, and unwavering love have given me opportunities I could never fully repay. I am truly beyond grateful for everything they have done to help me reach this moment.
Sarah Routson. I chose my mom and dad to pin me because they have been my constant support throughout this journey. My dad taught me to never give up, even when these past semesters were the hardest, and my mom has always been my biggest supporter, always just a phone call away whenever I needed help. I want to thank my parents, my boyfriend, my family, friends, classmates, and instructors for supporting me and helping me get to where I am today.
Sarah Alexandra Silling. I have chosen my mom and dad to pin me. They never stopped believing in me, even when things got so hard that I no longer believed in myself. Thank you both for your endless love and support. We've been through a lot these last 2 years, and I quite literally could not be standing here today without you two. All right. Let's do a round of applause for our ECHO graduates. And now for the Diagnostic Medical Sonography class of 2026. First, we have Abby Adrians. Today, I chose my boyfriend Dalton to pin me. He's been my constant support through every high and low, always encouraging me and believing in me. I couldn't have done this without him. I'm also so grateful for my family and friends. Their love and support carried me every step of the way. This accomplishment is shared with all of you. Thank you for helping me reach this moment.
Lauren Atencio. Today I am honored to have my husband, Cordell, pin me. His unwavering support, even while working 2 jobs and starting a new career as a firefighter, helped carry me through this journey. His strength, encouragement, and belief in me pushed me through the hardest moments. Thank you to my family and amazing classmates for your constant love and support. I wouldn't be here without you. Here's to the next chapter as a sonographer.
Samuel Blau. I chose my fiancée Sierra to pin me because the last 2 years she has done nothing but support me to finish this program. She worked tirelessly every week to make sure that I could just focus on this program. Thank you, Sierra, for all the hardships that you have made easier for me these last few semesters.
Kaylee Bowman. I chose my family, Kyle, Kaysen, and Coyer. There aren't enough words to truly thank you for everything that you've given up so I could stand here today. This journey didn't just belong to me, it belonged to all of us. The long days, the busy nights, and the missed time you carried with me every step of the way. Kyle, thank you for being my rock through it all. You stepped in without hesitation, held everything together at home, and never let me lose sight of why I started. I couldn't have done this without you. Kaysen and Coyer, I hope you see that when you put your heart into something and refuse to give up, you can achieve more than you ever imagined. Never give up on your goals. I did this for us. You guys are my reason, my motivation, and my greatest accomplishment. I can't wait to see what our future holds. I love you more than anything.
Delaney Brayton. These past 2 years of ultrasound school have challenged me more than I ever expected, and I truly could not have done it without my parents. Thank you for your constant love, encouragement, and sacrifices that helped get me here today. You both believed in me when I had doubts in myself. Having you pin me means everything to me, and I'll carry your support with me throughout my career.
Taylor Collins. Thank you to my mom and dad for all the support, love, and encouragement throughout school. I would not be here without your guidance, sacrifices, and belief in me. I am forever grateful for everything you have done to help me reach this moment.
Madeline Drew. I chose my mom to pin me because she has been my greatest supporter and source of strength throughout this journey. She spent countless hours helping me study, came to see me when I struggled, and always reminded me that I could do this, no matter how difficult it felt. She never let me give up and carried my challenges as if they were her own. Thank you, Mom, for your love, patience, and unwavering belief in me. I wouldn't be here without you.
Riley Friesen. I chose my parents to pin me today in honor of their unconditional support. Their belief in me kept me going when things got difficult. Thank you, Dad, for always being there with advice, encouragement, and reassurance when I needed it most. I'm so grateful for this program, for the determination it taught me, and for the incredible instructors and classmates who supported me along the way. I wouldn't be here without all of you. To my sisters, thank you for your constant love, support, and encouragement in helping me reach this moment.
Lisa Harrington. I chose my mom to pin me because she has been nothing but supportive and reassuring during my 2 years in this program. She has been my constant when everything else felt too overwhelming. Even when I thought about doubting myself, she never did. Thank you, Mom, for always being a shoulder to cry on, listening to me and inspiring me. Don't worry, this next ice cream date is on me.
Taylor Laupach. I chose my parents to pin me because they have been there for me throughout this entire journey. I truly could not have made it through this program without their support. While this is a huge accomplishment for me, I am just as proud of them for the hard work and sacrifices they have made to help put me through college. I am incredibly blessed to have you as my support system. Thank you for everything you have done to help me along the way.
Alejandra Medina. A very heartfelt thank you to my parents, who I have chosen to pin me. Your hard work and sacrifices made this path possible for me, and because of you, I've been able to pursue the opportunities you once dreamed of. This accomplishment is just as much yours as it is mine.
Kimberly Nelson. I chose my mom and dad to pin me because they have been some of my biggest supporters these last 2 years. They've done so much for me, from celebrating the wins to encouraging me through the downs. They never gave up on me. Thank you to my mom, dad, and sister for everything. I couldn't have done it without you guys.
Bryn Surbrugg. I chose my fiance, Andrew, to pin me because he truly is my biggest supporter. Andrew, I am endlessly grateful for your support, especially over the last 2 years. Thank you for always listening to me and believing in me. You made the stress of the last 2 years much more manageable. Thank you for all you have done to allow me to pursue and obtain my education.
Julie Spahn. I chose my husband, Nate, to pin me because he has been my rock throughout this entire process. His passion for serving others as a nurse inspires me every day. I'm incredibly thankful for his empathy, comedic relief, and tough love as I've been pursuing sonography. Thank you, Nate, for always believing in me and supporting me as we continue to build this life together.
Haley Wary. Here to pin me today are my mom and dad, Ann and Rick Wary. I am so lucky to have known the love and support they have shown me throughout every big life decision that I have made. And I know that sentiment will follow me through the decisions that I make in my professional career from here on. I have not had a linear journey to this point, and during every rough moment, I have peace in knowing that my family is always one call away. I am so excited to be graduating today and thankful for my mom and dad who pushed me here, as well as my friends in the crowd that have made this journey worth it all.
All right, I know everybody just applauded, but one more, because what they have done is such an amazing accomplishment. They deserve one more round of applause. So every year, our students are a part of a sonography club here on campus, and one of the reasons that we have that is because we want to have community outreach, all that kind of good stuff, and then also to teach them about the professional setting. So the pictures up here are from the Society of Diagnostic Medical Sonography Conference that they attended this last year down in Denver. Their job is to help fundraise and support each other in this endeavor. And I do want to give a special shout out to our second years that attended the SDMS because they actually won a VR contest, and because they won that, out of all the attendance there for students, we got a VR headset to the college with a 3-year subscription to this virtual anatomy, cadaver dissection, like everything. It is phenomenal. So the 5, I think it was Maddie, Riley, Sam, Lisa, and Taylor. If you guys want to stand, because without you guys, we wouldn't have it. So I know they probably only talk about the studying and the tests and the quizzes, but we do have fun. And that's one of the examples where we have fun. And up here on the slideshow, you can see our Echo students floating in the lazy river at the Gaylord down in Denver. So they do have fun. Every once in a while, we allow them to smile and laugh and not just cry sad tears. So in conclusion, we do have to extend a sincere gratitude and thanks to all of our clinical affiliates and clinical instructors. Without their contribution to our programs, we would not be able to do what we do with as many students as we do. To kind of give you guys an insight as to what that looks like, I did talk earlier about having 4 concentrations that we are accredited in. And in order to maintain that, all of our students have to represent competencies in all those areas. So in the echocardiography, they have to show competency in echoes, and there's about 11 to 12 different competencies that they have to prove. Now we go to the diagnostic medical sonography side, and they have 3 concentrations that they have to prove competency in. And they have 21 competencies that they had to accomplish in order to be here today. But we could not be here without our clinical sites or our clinical instructors. Each one of our graduates sometimes would have to rotate between a general abdomen, a vascular rotation, an OBGYN rotation, and then some of our echo students had to rotate between a clinic and a hospital in order to gather all of the knowledge that they needed to be competent in the areas that our accreditation requires us for graduation. So all in all, Bree, you can help me out with this number, probably over 40 clinical sites are needed for about 26 students. So that is a huge accomplishment to our communities out there, that they are taking that time to teach our wonderful students how to be sonographers. And it is a lot of time, it's hands-on, one-on-one, teaching them all about the pathology, because luckily in our lab, we only see normal. So we don't have to show them the pathology, but our clinical sites do. And that takes a lot of time, hence the reason why our students are out to clinical for about a year or over 1,000 hours of clinical time. But without them, we couldn't do it. Their mentorship and training them how to be a professional, how to communicate with the patients, how to communicate with doctors, peers, and so on and so forth. Without them, our students would not be successful. So I know there's probably not many of our clinical sites here because they're all working, but a huge round of applause for our clinical affiliates. Another very important aspect of our programs is our advisory committee, which is made up of community members, sonographers, and all the concentrations that we have, physicians, cardiologists, radiologists that attend, and then also faculty and staff members from here at LCCC. Our job for the advisory committee is to make sure that our students are receiving the education that is needed to be successful out in the field. And so by doing that, we ask our advisory committee what's coming up, what's new, what do we need to adjust to keep our students at the forefront of sonography. One of the changes is turning our echocardiography program next year into a cardiovascular program and adding vascular along with the adult echo. Reason being is there is a huge push for cardiovascular clinics along the Front Range and also in all the areas where they are specialized in cardiac and vascular. Without the knowledge of our field people and our radiologists and cardiologists, we wouldn't know to make that change. So this next year, our incoming students will be learning adult heart and vascular in order to maintain their cardiovascular degree so they can be employable upon graduation. Our sonography, we're gonna keep pushing because those 3 concentrations are the biggest 3 concentrations in this region that our students need to be employed. So we've hit the nail on the head with that one, and now we just gotta keep pushing to make sure that we stay ahead of everything else that's going on out in the communities. So to the advisory committee, I know it's a lot of work thinking about what to do, how to change our programs to keep us moving forward, but thank you for your continued guidance and support in keeping our programs strong and forward-thinking. A round of applause for advisory committees. Now, our graduates, thank you for filling my heart so much with everything that you guys do on a day-to-day. My true passion is sonography. I love helping people. And when I came into education, I wasn't so sure about it because I was going to miss being with those patients and not taking care of those patients and not helping them. That was the one thing I wanted to do in life, was to help people. But then I learned that as an educator, I'm going to be helping so many people by training my sonographers, I shouldn't say mine, but they feel like mine, our sonographers, how to be extremely compassionate, empathy, and critical thinkers in order to do the job that I absolutely love to do. So as you guys go out into the field, remember that you guys are a part of everything that I love dearly, and you guys are taking that out there, and you guys are helping others in ways that I cannot, but I'm teaching you all the ways of how to take care of those. And that feeling is what fills my heart every year, so I can see all those amazing patients and the stories I hear from outside community members. I had a graduate today that did my ultrasound. They were amazing. They were so professional. That's why I do what I do, what Bree does, what she does, and Pareed and Coulter and Amanda, because we love teaching you guys how to be the best sonographers in this region. So thank you for entrusting me with your learning and for taking everything that we taught you and applying it to all those patients out there that need you to find what's going on. So thank you guys as you continue to do that. Your compassion, the skills, and the dedication that you have proven to us will make you phenomenal professionals and lifelong learners as you guys move forward in your career. So thank you again for everything that you guys have done to make my last 2 years or year for ECHO the most enjoyable 2 to 1 years. And with the class of 26, please rise. Congratulations, you guys have made it. You guys truly represent the heart of these programs. So thank you so much for joining us today, everybody, for making the long trip, some from Montana, Colorado, Nebraska, 8 hours, I think Montana said for her folks. So thank you guys so much for doing the travel. Thank goodness for good weather, minus the wind. But this concludes our ceremony. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you guys tomorrow at our commencement.